welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching. On our program, Darryl Brown. He's the Director of Cloud, SaaS, and Media at Telx. Darryl, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rich.
So I've been to a number of your facilities in Manhattan and in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
And many people think of your company as, I guess the best way of saying it is a provider of real estate that focuses on carrier interconnectivity.
Yeah.
How is that evolving?
What we're seeing is, as we move forward, we have, like as I mentioned, most of the carriers in my facilities today. But with the evolution of cloud, we're seeing the need for the cloud providers to gain extensive connectivity, especially as we see an evolution out of like internet, traditional-based clouds that we see today as they want to evolve to become more of an enterprise-class cloud provider. And we have a unique ability now to allow those guys to use cloud exchange type platforms and programs to interconnect with each other and the enterprises they do business with. So as we move forward, we're evolving to be more of, I'd say, a cloud connection center versus a traditional carrier hotel.
Now that carries forward into a release your company put out this week, right?
Yeah, so earlier this week we put out a release around what we call Cloud Exchange. So Cloud Exchange is building a community of cloud providers, cloud enablers, cloud managed service providers, communications providers, and all the components that make up a solution for an enterprise. And the purpose of this is to allow them to both communicate with each other, to promote and co-market with each other and ourselves, to make it more aware of who does what and what places they fall into within the cloud, and allow them to gain access to the enterprise networks via the carrier hotel capabilities that we currently have today.
Now, have you had feedback on that news yet?
Actually, yeah, it's been going pretty good. In fact, I've had a couple of emails come in this morning directly from different organizations that want to get involved with us, which is very uplifting, I should say. I think as we move forward, we put more clarity around it. I think the biggest feedback I've had is the benefits to them is the ability to promote to each other. You know, most of these companies are relatively small, and they need help communicating what they do and who they sell to. And you know, the help getting to their message out is what we're going to be providing a lot of help with.
So, are you surprised at how much interest there is in the cloud right now?
No, not really. You know, from an enterprise perspective, it makes a lot of sense because cloud is meant to enable choice. You know, there are economies of scale. You know, I do see the need in cloud. There's always going to be something on premise, like in my own facility. There's always going to be something co-located near the cloud providers, and it can be something in the cloud. So I don't think cloud's going to take things away. There's a lot of market hype around it, but I think the hype is kind of boiling down right now. We are seeing large providers that we've heard of, like, you know, the Terramarks or the Savas, getting swallowed up for huge multiples over what their revenues are. And that's going to generate a lot of interest in the investment community. For the enterprises, it's, you know, how can they use it? And I think it's maturing now. We're seeing an evolution.
So you mentioned, you kind of inferred that there may be situations where there are hybrids, right? Where
Yeah.
you have some carrier, some equipment in the cloud, some equipment in the premise. So that's possibly another area of growth, right?
I think there'll be a lot of growth in that because we currently see the large cloud providers today. They consume, they predominantly sell to small and medium-sized enterprises, like $50 here, $100 there, even like Amazon, right? You know, they may have a few big customers that bill a couple of $100,000 a month or more. But most of them are, you know, they're billing a few $100s a month. So as you move into large enterprise, those large enterprises are going to they want on-premise like performance. The data that the cloud uses, they may not want to put in the cloud, but they will need to put it close to the cloud, right, so that cloud can access it. And that starts building the hybrid solution. So, you know, you're kind of you're using the components of cloud for what it's best suited for, but you still look after the things that are very important to you, your crown jewels. You want to look after them.
Right.
You know, we hear about encryption, but you put encryption on your data and then you put that in the cloud. The encryption components itself slows the performance down.
That's right.
You know, and it sucks up more bandwidth and it takes up more space. So maybe there are ways to privately interconnect your back office systems to the cloud providers, and the terminology is called private interconnects. And use the internet as an access medium for your roaming users.
Right.
So you get on-premise like performance for the people that are in the office, and the guys that are on the road get what they're used to with the mobility applications.
Right. Now, in terms of the competitive environment, how is that shaping up?
I think we're seeing a lot of competition in the infrastructure as a service world right now. I'm seeing that outside. For me, competition-wise, it's a growth industry, so I'm not too concerned right now. A lot of it is positioning and trying to, help these guys learn how we can help them and what they need to do in order to sell. So I'm mostly interested in trying to help as many grow as possible.
Okay.
In the public cloud space, there's a lot of competition. I think towards the end of this year, early next year, we're going to see price points continue to decline. We've seen, on a per server basis, starting out in the, 50, hundreds of dollars stage, but we'll probably see towards the end of the year as cloud brokers and the like appear, those rates are going to go down, so the guys are going to have to start looking at how do they differentiate.
Right.
And that's probably going to be through hybrid. You support hybrid, you
Right.
deliver hybrid.
Right, that makes sense.
You can charge a premium rate for the private cloud, you can charge a more premium rate for the connectivity, you can start offering SLAs, you can start delivering quality of service directly into the carrier backbones. You've got something unique then.
Do you have any thoughts on the high-profile outage a couple weeks ago by Amazon?
I think it's a little bit of a wake-up, maybe for Amazon and some of the other people. If you were only using Amazon and you only put your stuff on Amazon, maybe that wasn't the brightest thing to do, because nothing's infallible. And I think for some people it'll be a bit of a wake-up to say, I really need to look at using a multitude of cloud providers.
Right.
There are certain companies out there now that are introducing capabilities to allow you to have one point into the cloud, but your solution is deployed on multiple providers.
Right.
They're relatively new at doing that, performing that cross-cloud load balancing, shall we say. So I think that we'll see a bit of an increase in the market there, where you can say thank you, Amazon, for that, right? We generate another business need.
No, absolutely.
But it
It's
also
probably good for the market. I mean, it also puts some healthy fear in the space, but it also, like you said, a wake-up call so that companies realize that no single provider is perfect, and even if you're in a single provider and you think it's perfect, you should try to be in multiple data centers within that one provider to cover yourself.
And there are other things like islands, right? Some people, some cloud providers tend to build their clouds on an island, like two pipes or one pipe going into, the middle of the desert or something. And I think that as well is also a bit more of a wake up to say, I can't build my clouds on an island. I can't just put them in one place.
Right.
I got to have them highly connected, and I got to distribute them. They've got to be highly distributed.
Right.
And so my customers then can have distributed solutions that are highly connected, and then they get the performance that we expect.
That's right. That makes sense.
Especially with the next generation of kids as they grow up, they expect it to work now, and it'd be as quick as it is no matter what device they use. We're going to see an evolution, and you can thank Amazon for that, I think, in a way.
Right. Well, thanks for being on the program today. This was
Thank
great.
you, Rich. Take care.